يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله صلى الله على محمد.
As Muslims all over the world face Qiblah for prayers, so do all schools focus on Qiblah schools to emulate beautiful innovations. Our nursery and primary schools enjoy good teaching aid facilities as our team of qualified and committed teachers leave no stone unturned, ranging from academics to moral and religious teachings. Qiblah High School as well is a place to be with spacious playground, very conducive learning environment, library, ICT and indoor games rooms are not only well stocked but also equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. Our students perform brilliantly well at all external examinations as well as various core and extracurricular activities. Qiblah schools, comprising of preparatory and high schools, is at plot 2 to 5 Ibadan Southwest Multipurpose Scheme at Leshiloye, Ibadan. Telephone 0805-272-5253 or 0803-313-2027. Qiblah schools, we set the pace.
Alhamdulillah wa kafa wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and adoration is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of incomparable majesty. We thank him, we adore him, we testify to his oneness that he has no associate, he has no partner. We equally testify to the messengership and prophet to the Holy Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and benediction of Allah be upon his noble soul, his household, his companions, and the unity of Muslims till the day of accountability. You are welcome to your favorite program, Message from Qiblah, sponsored by Qiblah Schools, Leshiloye, Ibadan. Today, inshallah, we want to look at the event of the last day. We have established it in the last episode that the last day is an inevitable day. It's a reality. It will definitely come upon mankind a day. So for us to have a strong belief in that day, that there's no doubt about it. And today we want to talk about some of the events that will occur in this last day. However, the time available will not be sufficient to exploit all the events, but to mention a few of the events of the day of judgment, so that we know that that day is not a joke and it's nothing to joke about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described the events of the last day for us in many verses of Quran. So one of the things that will happen on the day of judgment, on the last day, is our resurrection from our grave. Everybody will be forced out of the grave when the day comes. Al-Khuruj min al-Abd. So there is nobody that is dead except he is buried. And from this, within the earth crust, every one of us shall emerge on the last day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran chapter 70 verse 43, where he says, Ba'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, يَوْمَ يَخْرُجُونَ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ سِرَاعًا كَأَنَّهُمْ إِلَى نُصُبٍ يُوفِدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the day that people will emerge from the graves. So people will emerge from their graves sira'an, rapidly, كَأَنَّهُمْ إِلَى نُصُبٍ يُوفِدُونَ, as if they were moving towards an erected idol, hasting. So on the day of judgment, when everybody shall emerge from his grave, it will be as if we are running towards a target. So everybody will just be running rapidly just to assemble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day of judgment. So this will happen. That is the first thing that will happen on the day of judgment. Then qira'at al-kitab nafs or ikhraj al-kitab. On that day, our record of deeds will be brought to us, will be brought out, spread open before every one of us. And it will be enough for us as account on that day. Because one of the things that we need to acknowledge is that as we are moving about, Allah has assigned 2 angels to every body. And these 2 angels, they are in charge of writing the records of our deeds. There's nothing we alter, there's no action we carry out, there's nothing we perpetrate except it is written by these 2 angels. And on the day of judgment, this record will be brought out for everybody to see and read by himself, and it shall be enough as account for every soul. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us this in Surah Al-Isra, Quran chapter 17, verse 13 and 14. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. وَكُلَّ إِنسَانٍ أَلْزَمْنَاهُ طَائِرَهُ فِي عُنُقِهِ وَنُخْرِجُ لَهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ كِتَابًا يَلْقَاهُ مَنشُورًا اقْرَأْ كِتَابَكَ كَفَى بِنَفْسِكَ الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكَ حَسِيبًا." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the day that every person will see the record that we have imposed on his neck. So Allah is telling us in this very particular verse of Quran that, and for every person we have imposed his faith upon his neck, and we produce for him on the day of resurrection a record which he will encounter spread open. And it will be said, "Iqra kitabaka kafa bi nafsika al-yawma alayka hasiba." That read your record. It is sufficient for you against yourself as account. That is what every one of us will read from the record that will be brought forth on that day before every one of us. It will be sufficient as account. So if we are sure of this, that we have angels that are writing our records, and this record is there intact with everyone. So it is on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will produce the record for every one of us to read it. Every one of us will encounter the record spread open before us, and we shall be commanded to read. And whatever we are going to read there will be sufficient as account for us against ourselves. So that is why every one of us will just have to be conscious of Allah in all our dealings, in all our dispositions. And even in Surah Al-Kahf, Quran chapter 18, verse 49, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us similar thing about the book that shall be placed before us. Allah says, وَوُضِعَ الْكِتَابُ فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ وَيَقُولُونَ يَا وَيْلَتَنَا مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرَةً وَلَا كَبِيرَةً إِلَّا أَحْصَاهَا وَوَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَوُضِيَ الْكِتَابِ, the book, the record shall be placed فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ. And the criminals will see what is written within, what is in that record. وَيَقُولُونَ يَا وَيْلَتَنَا. And they will say, oh, where unto them? مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ. What is this book? لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرَةً وَلَا كَبِيرًا. That does not leave small nor great things except it has enumerated it. وَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا. And all they did, they will see it before them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Your Lord does no injustice to anyone. So it is whatever that we do while on the earth of it, shall we meet on the day of resurrection in our records. And that will be the premises upon our judgment shall be based. And another thing that will happen is al-hisab, and that is accountability. Everybody will give account of his stewards, will give account of his deeds while on the earth surface. The Prophet ﷺ told us that لا يزال قدم عبدي يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن ماله من أين اكتسب ومن أين أنفق وعن عمره فيما أفنى أو كما قال. That every soul shall be asked on the day of judgment. Nobody will move an inch away from the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, except that he is asked of his works. Where has he made the works? And on what he spent the works? And he will also be questioned about his lifetime. On what did he spend it? So that is why if we have wealth, we should ensure that that wealth accrued to us from a lawful source. It shouldn't be from unlawful sources, because we are going to account for where we get our wealth, where we get our money, where we get our fortune. We give account about that. Then our lifetime, on what do we spend that time that we have? So we shall give account of this on the day of judgment. So that is telling us that this as just few of the events of the day of judgment. Inshallah, in the next episode, we had one or two events to it, so that we will know what is at stake, and that will determine how conscious we should be in terms of discharging our duties to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We pray that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide everyone of us aright, and may He furnish us with good deeds. Ya la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. The school from which the message is coming, may Allah continue to elevate the school. Ya la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر لكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك إليك. Tomorrow shall we meet again. I remain Rasheed Musa. Wassalamu alaikum wa ila al-liqa.
Ìyá Àlímà aṣáìrìn jìnnà lára bukẹ́ ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ mo rìn gbẹ̀rẹ̀ lónìí mo débi wọ́n gbé fodó òbúlẹ̀ jẹun. Qiblah schools ní ìwé àròtọ̀ tí mo gán ní ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀sìn àti ìwà ọmọlúàbí gbé wọn wò bí èwù. Yàrá ìyáwé kàwé wọn ò lẹ́gbẹ́ bámúlókún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bí ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ wọn ò nírọ̀. Wo ọmọ kan kọ̀ǹpútà kan ni ọkọ̀ ń bẹ tí wọ́n fi ń káwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kákéwú kákàwé kákọ́ṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ni tiwọn. Ó jọ mí lójú o.
Ó pẹ́ tẹ́mi ti mọ Qiblah schools bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí wọ́n rí nursery school Qiblah l'Abdullahi mi lahùn sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni primary wọn ni Yusuf dàgbà sí. Kódà bọ́lọ̀ ń bá yọ̀ǹda Qiblah high school lóyún dàmọ́lágan lọ ohun ìṣeré ọmọdé kúnbẹ̀ fọ́fọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tìdárayá àwọn àgbàlagbà náà gbẹ̀yìn ẹ wo bí baba sọmọ làwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àtolùkọ́ wọn ṣe ń bẹ̀.
Qiblah preparatory àti Qiblah high school ló fẹ̀ gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ lójú kan ní plot 2 to 5 Ìbàdàn South West multipurpose scheme Alẹ́ṣinlọ́yẹ́ Ìbàdàn.
Telephone 08052725253 àti 08033132027. Qiblah schools iwájú lójúgùn gbé.